Here we go. Hey there, yeah, little Michi dwellers out on the street hole. Welcome to episode 6 of Beginner Season 1 of Shitamachi Underground Japanese, where we teach you the casual Japanese that they use on the streets. And in this scenario, I suppose on the tennis court. Oh, speaking of which, or basketball court. Speaking of which, Jay Sensei, Genki.
今日はですね、あまり元気ないです。I'm actually not super genki. Well, I actually feel genki, but like probably physically not so genki.
Yeah, Jay had a little jiko.
Yeah, exactly. I was playing basketball with my brother-in-law, and I was going up for a layup, and he thought he would be Shaquille O'Neal on me, and we both flew into a table, and I got a brace on my leg now. Check that out.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, but
Glad you're in high spirits, though.
it led to some good ideas for future podcast content, so we good.
Yeah, exactly. Never let a bad situation go to waste. Hey, do you have stitches on the back of your head?
No, I had this like huge bandage though, and
Oh.
we had to take it off so we could clean it and put some more stuff on it, and it pulled out like a lot of hair.
Oh. Can you show the camera?
Like
Not
I
really.
don't know if it's a little embarrassing. But I don't even know exactly. Like I know it's like up. I think I might be covering it with like my headset, but it's somewhere over here-ish. I don't know. Yeah, no stitches, but now we're just putting like this what was that like one kind of band-aid stuff that's like super glue. You know what I'm talking about?
Super glue?
Basically. Basically. It seriously is just like that, but like there's basically that like
I
and that's
super
where it
glued my
happened.
head back together.
I heard that that's like where super glue like was invented. It was supposed to be like something that you could use on the battlefield to quickly like put like stitch up a wound and just get going.
Oh, well, we're hopefully very far from a battlefield, so,
Yeah. We don't really have anyone to check out like stuff if we're telling a bunch of bullshit, but
Yeah,
someone should look that
exactly.
up.
Where's our Jamie? Where's our Jamie?
We need to hire one.
Jamie.
Jamie. James-san, それを調べろ. Look it up. ググってみろ. Oh, dude, that's a funny thing. Before we get into our real lesson content, everyone, did you know that in Japanese there's a cool verb that means to Google, and it's literally Google?
Guguru.
Yeah, like if you want to
What
be
are
like,
you doing? Guguru.
yeah, I'm Googling would be like, gugutteru yo.
Ah,
I'm Googling something. Gugutteru.
naruhodo.
Anyways.
Which means I see, right? Or
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, naruhodo does mean I see. And Tarik, this is a different I see, but can you see our lesson for today?
Yeah, it looks like episode 6 is ready to begin. Shall we hop in, Jay Sensei?
We sure should, because today we're going to be learning about stove. STOV, in other words, like basic Japanese word order, how to structure your sentences. We're also going to look at time expressions, specifically ones that have to do with how often you do something. And then finally, we're going to be introduced to more verbs and that use the particle o as well. So stay tuned.
I am tuned.
I'm tuned. Today's conversation is between Taiki and Mikio, and they're talking about working out. I'll go ahead and be Taiki, and so Tarik-san will play the role of Mikio for this conversation.
Dope.
We're going to go through a casual version of this conversation, followed up by a polite version of it, not formal, but just, polite you can use with anyone. And then we'll get an English breakdown of what's all being said.
And real quick, as always, remember to use that pause button. Remember to use that rewind button, Yep. No shame in that game.
And if you want to read along with what you're hearing, make sure to check out the video version of our podcast where you can see what we're saying as we say it. It's literally on the screen.
And if you're a beginner, which you probably are if you're watching this, be sure to start at episode 1. It is sequential at the end of the day. So, yeah.
And get me a Coke. Sorry. The inner senpai came out. My bad. All right, here we go.
Here's the setting. You have Taiki and Mikio. Mikio is Yakuza, and Taiki is very scared when it comes to Yakuza. So, Taiki, should we start?
That's the one way of saying Taiki and Mikio are talking about working out. Yeah, and Taiki says, Mikio, yoku undou suru no?
そうだね。毎日トレーニングするよ。
毎日ってすごいな。
大輝は
僕はたまにジョギングするね。
そうか。じゃあ明日一緒にジョギングしない？
あ、ごめん。いつも一人でジョギングするから。Alright, so let's listen to that conversation now in polite Japanese. みきおさん、よく運動しますか？
そうですね。毎日トレーニングしますね。
毎日、すごいですね。
大輝さんは
僕はたまにジョギングをします。
そうですか。じゃあ明日一緒にジョギングをしませんか？
すみません。いつも一人でジョギングをしますから。And now for the English version. Mikio, do you often work out?
Yeah, I go lift every day.
Every day. Nice.
How's about you?
I go jogging sometimes.
Really? Want to go jogging together tomorrow?
I'm sorry. I always go jogging by myself, so yeah. All right, Tarik. We had a bunch of cool new words in there, but did you notice all the words that were time expressions?
I noticed tamani.
Yeah, tamani. There was also itsumo, which means
Itsumo, yeah.
always. And there was Mainichi. What does Mainichi mean?
And ashita. Mainichi is every day.
Yeah. And or ashita's every day. Mainichi's. Oh, damn it, dude! I just for some reason had a weird brain fart.
It may have been because you hit your head last night.
I did hit my head last night. What if I seriously got dumber? Oh, that'd be the worst.
Well, eat some salmon. You'll regain those.
Go eat some
cells.
salmon, take some shrooms.
Yeah, exactly.
What is it? Neural genesis or something? Yeah, let's go for some of that. Yeah, so anyways, every day is Mainichi, tomorrow is ashita, and a lot of people at this point, right, start to wonder, okay, I've learned a lot of words, but when exactly do I say what when? And that's a really good question. Remember how we said that Japanese is a subject, object, verb language, or SOV language?
Yes, I remember that.
Well, we're going to add to that. We're going to add a T and an E. The T comes after the S, giving us like the time of when the like action of the sentence happened.
Oh.
So then we have E at the end for ending particles. Stove.
Huh.
All right.
Okay.
So we're gonna.
That's a good way of remembering things.
Thanks. Credit goes to Ian. Ian, if you're ever listening to this, thanks, man.
Thanks, Ian.
Thanks, Ian. All right. So yeah, let's look at how we can say a sentence like this one. Does Taiki exercise often?
大輝はよく運動しますか?
Good. So Tarik, what was the S in the stove, the subject for this sentence?
Taiki, and then there was the wa particle afterwards.
Yeah, good. And then next we have the time of the sentence. And this is today's main point. And this is the word for often. Tarik, what was that word?
Yoku.
Awesome. Often.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Jay Sensei. But doesn't yoku also have more applicability? Like, doesn't it also sometimes mean well?
It does mean well as well. Did you? You made me say that, didn't you? You wanted me to say that.
I'm pulling the strings here, baby.
You can use it to talk about if something went well and if you do something often. Which, Tarik, do you happen to often exercise?
Yoku undou suru ne.
Oh, he does exercise often. And what was the word for exercise?
Undou.
Nice.
And there's O particle, but it seems as though that the O like blends into the do, right?
You know, that's a really good point, and that's why it's going to be helpful for us to also look at other examples of verbs from our conversation. So, for example, if you could say I jog by taking the word jogging, which in Japanese is,
Jogingu.
and then you can add an O after it, so that gives us jogingu o. And then in casual Japanese, we then say suru.
Suru.
So altogether we get jogingu o suru.
Jogingu suru.
Now, what would that be in polite Japanese?
Jogingu o shimasu.
Nice. And now you'll notice that there's a lot of these words that have suru or shimasu on the end. This means to do. So literally, when you say jogingu o suru, you're saying to do jogging, or undou o suru, which means to do exercise. And there's just a lot of words that end up working this way. They're called suru verbs. And it might not feel like the most natural thing to do, but just kind of like trust in us in when we say, if you want to say to exercise, literally what you're going to say is to do exercise. And to jog would literally be to do jogging. Tarik, on our screen, we also have one more verb, one more word that turns into a suru verb, and it means to lift or to do weight training. What would that be?
Tore-ningu. And that is tore-ningu. Tore-ningu.
Good. Then we can add the particle o after it and then end it with suru. Or, and this is just to keep things a little bit more concise, we can actually leave out the particle o when it's a suru verb, like these ones. So if I just said undou suru, that means to exercise, or jogingu suru, and tore-ningu suru, and that gives us to jog and to lift or to do weight training. All right, so now with stove in mind, let's go ahead and think of some sentences we can say together and some other examples. I'm going to think of a Japanese one first, and I want you to tell me what you think it means, okay?
Okay.
All right, so here we go. Kenta-san wa yoku tore-ningu o shimasu.
Kenta was at the beginning, and then we have yoku for the time. Tore-ningu is the verb.
Mm-hmm.
We have a suru after it.
Mm-hmm.
Tore-ningu means to lift weights.
Lift weights.
I would imagine it means Kenta often lifts weights.
Yeah, that's correct. Let's do another one. Let's use one of the verbs from a previous lesson. Let's do this. Julia-san wa tamani asagohan o tsukurimasu.
So Julia is the S, the subject.
The T was
Tamani.
tamani.
Is the T, which is sometimes. Asagohan, which is breakfast, is the object. Tsukurimasu is the verb.
And we could add an ending particle, but I chose not to because I'm not really asking a question or being particularly emphatic with this statement. But what if I did yo on the end, like Julia-san wa tamani asagohan o tsukurimasu yo.
That means that Julia sometimes makes breakfast. And with the yo at the end, it would be informative.
Yeah, exactly. Listeners, if this still seems kind of difficult, or if you just want to get some practice, definitely leave a comment and try thinking of your very own stove sentence. And when you do, you might want to use yoku or tamani, like we used in our conversation, or one of these words. Tarik, what words do we have on screen?
We have itsumo.
Always.
We have, and that is itsumo. Itsumo.
Itsumo.
And this is a word that you might use every day.
I use
Which
it
means-
always.
Yeah. And it's Mainichi. Mainichi. And it means every day.
Yeah.
And then here's another word you'll use often. Yoku. Yoku. And that means often.
You'll often use this one too, but it means sometimes.
We'll use it sometimes.
Yeah. It's the cutest sounding word in Japanese.
And that is toki doki. Tokidoki.
Tokidoki.
And we will also use this sometimes.
These words pretty much mean the same thing. They both are sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. And this one is tamani. Tamani.
Tamani. Yeah. So, one thing to keep in mind with these adverbs of frequency, in other words, always, every day, often, sometimes, is you don't need to have a particle after them.
Mm-hmm.
You can.
Tamani so nanda.
Sometimes it's true. Tamani and tokidoki, yoku, mainichi, itsumo, all of these cool words, you can put them in the time position in our stove sentence structure. And then you don't really need anything else after it. Now, this doesn't mean that they never will have a particle on it. There might be situations where people put a particle on it for a specific reason, and we'll get into those types of reasons later on in our courses. But for the time being, it's best to just think of these words of frequency, these time expressions of frequency, as not requiring a particle after them. Tarik, let's practice using some of these new words. How would I say I always study Japanese?
いつも日本語を勉強する.
Ooh. How's about I eat breakfast every day?
毎日朝ごはんを食べます. Wait, no.
That was
Wait.
polite.
Yeah,
What-
yeah.
What happened to
I did
you?
right. I don't know. I feel like you hitting your head like caused some sort of like space-time distortion. And I'm feeling it too.
Are you having like that, like sort of, what is it called when you see someone who's injured and then you feel pain too?
Or you see someone puking and you're right next to them and you start puking as well.
Never happened to me, but I can imagine it happening.
Yeah, for me it yoku happens.
Yoku it's often. Ooh. I don't envy you. Yeah. So, how's about? I sometimes drink.
Eyeballs?
I don't think we've learned eyeballs yet.
Yeah, we did. We learned highball.
Oh,
Didn't we?
I thought you said eyeballs. Like,
Oh no.
I was like, this is like turning into like Addams Family stuff. Okay, yeah, highballs. Yeah, that works. I sometimes drink highballs.
時々ハイボールを飲む.
Are you listeners all noticing that he's not saying watashi wa at the beginning every time? Why aren't you saying watashi wa or boku wa?
Because I don't fucking need to.
He doesn't need to, guys. It's
And you know why?
implied.
And you know why? You know why? You really want to know why?
Oh.
Because my pronoun that I use is ore.
Oh, speaking of which, that's our next vocabulary word. Tarik identifies with the ore pronoun, which is...
It's I or me in a very masculine sort of way. Like, you got to have a little bravado to use it.
Yeah, like, admittedly, if you are the more humbler type, soft-spoken, and want to be very delicate. Why do I feel like I'm like describing myself right now? You would
unconsciously describing yourself.
It's like, why?
You know what happens when Jay Sensei hits his head? It's like a truth serum.
I want to go back and get my old identity. No, give my old identity back. Dude, basketball is fun. I encourage everyone to get out and play sports.
Yeah, just don't hit your head.
Yeah, and if you particularly feel super masculine, then you should use the ore pronoun. Mm-hmm. And then, Tarik, there's actually a female version of this, believe it or not.
Does it rhyme with watashi?
No, it rhymes with necktie.
Oh, I thought we were doing atashi, but
it's very similar. It's actually atai.
Atai.
Yeah.
Oh.
If any of you people,
it doesn't rhyme with a tie. It's literally a tie.
I said necktie.
Necktie. Oh, okay.
It rhymes with a tie. A tie. That's so funny. Tarik, I bet you and a girl who says atai. Oh wait, never mind. I thought that you guys would get along, but you actually prefer very elegant women.
Oh yeah, dude. I like class.
So if you met someone who was like aggressive and said atai, it might actually be a turnoff.
Yeah, absolutely. I am the masculine, and I require my feminine counterpart.
You like the feminine. You need feminine balance.
Exactly.
So could you take someone who says atai down in the ring?
I mean, maybe in bed.
Okay, I'll take it. Speaking of in bed, the next word is exercise.
I'll build a ring around my bed.
Ooh.
How about that? Yeah. And so I can do WWE moves on her.
Honestly, that one thing that surprises me about Japan is how popular pro wrestling is.
Oh, yeah, that's true, isn't it? Well, they also have sumo, right?
That's true. But, kind of interacting with, the Japanese people who I've met in my lifetime, I never would have guessed that pro wrestling would have been such a popular thing in Japan. I just need to meet more people, probably. But yeah, so anyways, so we have ore. We saw undou a little bit earlier, and jogingu, and tore-ningu, and suru. But we didn't get to number 6 quite yet. Go ahead and read number 6 for us.
Sugoi.
And what does sugoi mean?
It's sugoi. Sugoi.
Great pronunciation.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And it means amazing or awesome. So, you see me do a kickflip, which I can't do. So it makes it extra amazing. And you go, sugoi.
Sugoi. もう一回やって Do it again. もう一回見せてよ.
But I gotta practice, and I'll let you know it's not happening ashita.
Oh, ashita is tomorrow. And I have a good way of remembering this, and it kind of is related to maybe the naughty word of the day a little bit.
And that's ashita. Ashita. Ashita.
Yeah, did you all notice that he kind of didn't really pronounce the she there? It's instead of ashita, it's ashita. There's this thing in Japanese called high vowel devoicing, and that's the whole reason why we don't really say the E sound there. But all you have to know for right now is that if it sounds like people aren't really pronouncing the E or the U in some words, probably they're not. And so when it really comes down to it, just try your best to imitate fluent Japanese speakers.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, so ashita, right? If this... Tarik, people frankly just mess up this word all the time with the words for today and yesterday.
Today is kyo,
Yep.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
And yesterday is kino.
So what I used to tell students was like, when you're trying to remember the difference between kino, kyo, and ashita, think like, oh no, kino, I had a test. But kyo,
Uh,
today, you were an idiot because you forgot that actually, ah shit, the test was actually ashita.
happy ending.
Happy ending. So kino, oh no, I had a test. Oh wait, kyo, today I remembered it's actually tomorrow. Ashita, oh shit, it's tomorrow.
A happy ending, and a legal one at that.
Yeah. So hopefully that slightly vulgar mnemonic device proves helpful to you. And if not,
Vulgarity works.
and if not, and you have something cool you'd like to recommend, leave it in the comments. But I'm betting mine's better. So
Be as vulgar as you want in the comments.
no, Tar, because that would be dummy.
Dame.
Dame is our naughty word of the day, and I made it today's naughty word of the day because the other day my wife was making breakfast for my daughter, right? Now, my mother was like listening in on this conversation, and my daughter was like taking food and just throwing it on the ground, just like throwing it everywhere. And then my wife was like, "Damn it!" And then my mom's like, "Oh, like why are you cursing at your baby?" like,
Oh.
and then Yuki's like, "Oh no, like I'm not swearing at her. Like I'm telling her that's not okay because in Japanese the word for unacceptable is
Dame.
which
Da. Me. Dame.
which kind of sounds like saying damn it.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Can you say dame da?
Damn it. Yeah. Oh, just like our example sentence here. This sentence means that's not acceptable.
それはダメだよ.
Good. それはダメだよ. So one way that this gets translated is the word no, but this isn't like the opposite of yes, because the opposite of yes is
No.
I mean, but in Japanese,
Yeah.
yeah, good. So like yeah is the opposite of yes, no, and then this no is like the one that like parents say to their kids or teachers say to students if they do something naughty. Dame.
Dame.
So that brings us to our final review for today. We learned about stove. Tark, what was stove all about?
Stove is basically the basic way to lay out your sentences and decipher them from English to Japanese.
Yeah, so what is the S?
S. Subject.
T.
Time.
O.
O for object.
V.
V for verb.
And E.
Ending particle.
Nice. And we got to look at some of that T time stuff with various time expressions. We looked specifically at adverbs of frequency as along with the words today, yesterday, and tomorrow.
So that's kyo for
Today.
Yesterday is kino. That's ki no.
Ooh.
Kino. And then there's ashita, which is tomorrow.
Yep. And then we got to see more verbs and more particle o with words like undouをする, tore-ninguをする, and that other one, which I'm going to remember. Tarik, if I could recommend anything, don't play basketball and hit your head. Jogingu. Okay.
I'll do boxing and hit my head instead.
Or maybe block.
I never use the block button in fighting games. Okay, I tend to parry instead. I'm a parry guy.
That's good. That's good. Let's look up to say how to parry in Japanese because I actually don't know. You got me like wondering.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Dude.
probably something lame like parry.
Parry suru or something. I don't know if I spelled parry correct. Is it with an E?
Correctly. Maybe.
Oh, my freaking ankle kills right now. This hurts. I'm still gonna ice it when we're done. Oh, no way, dude. Parrying and fencing really is potty.
Putty. I knew it, dude. I knew it.
No way. That's so upsetting.
Perioste.
Oh, dude, check this out, though. Dodging, parrying, questions?
What?
Wow, we have like, okay, so kata,
Oh,
sukashi.
you can parry a question in Japanese?
Oh, dude, and this also, okay, look at this long ass description. So parrying while stepping out of line and pushing down on the shoulder blade with the other hand, thus pulling him down. Whoa.
That's so elaborate.
Like kata sukashi is a
Kata
four line. This is a sumo move, dude. That's really cool. Okay, so anyways, yep, this is what we studied today.
We learned how to, in this last part of the lesson, how to describe the elements of gameplay in a Soulsborne game. How about that? How's that for a review?
I mean, I wish I could get past that first boss, you know what I mean? In our next lesson, we're going to count all the way up to 12 because we're going to learn how to tell the time in Japanese. Tarik, you know what's going to be exciting about this?
Oh, tell me. That I'm finally going to learn how to count past 3?
That too, and 4. But you'll also be able to say all the months of the year just by knowing the numbers.
Oh. Omoroi ne.
Yeah. Like, so stick around for the next lesson. It's definitely one to not miss for the fundamentals of Japanese.
Right, and then we're gonna tell you how to tell the time. But speaking of telling the time, I think it's time to go.
It is time to go, and we look forward to seeing you all in the next one. And if you found this helpful, Tarik, what should they do?
They should hit the bell for notifications or the equivalent of their platform to that same device.
Abuse
and
the bell.
Abuse the bell, subscribe, like, comment, share, touch yourself. I mean, yeah, that's about it.
I was wondering, like, how would you say, like smash the bell in Japanese? But let's say, like, oh, dude, you could say, like, tsubusu if you wanted to, probably.
Tsubusu.
Or maybe, like, naguru is to punch.
Yeah, punch that bell, baby.
Ano beru, ano chime. I think they, like, you hear chime a lot, like if it's like for alerts and stuff like that. Ano chime, like, or whatever.
Chime.
But we can say bell. The Japanese word for bell is suzu, but I'm gonna say beru in katakana because that seems to be the trend in tech in Japanese to just use katakana words.
Okay.
Ano beru o nagutte kudasai yo.
Ano beru o nagatte kudasai ne.
Nagutte kudasai. Anyways,
All
yep.
right.
Thank you so much. And 今日も一緒に勉強してくれてありがとうございます。
また今度。
また今度お会いしましょう。またね。
失礼。
バイバイ。